Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Taeyang Valko. So here he is. As you can see, he is a really handsome boy. I'll just show you how he looks. He has this wonderful wolf's tail and faux fur on his coat. And he has fur tufts on his sleeves and on his shoulders, and of course this gorgeous fur wig. I really love fur wigs. In fact, I think I like fur wigs more than hair wigs on Taeyangs. So I'm going to show him up close and personal using my overhead camera so that you can really see the details of this guy. So Taeyang Valko was released in August of 2013, and so he's been around for a while, but he hasn't actually sold out yet, so you can still get him on Pull-Up Style or on Groove, and I got him on the sample sale at Groove. And I think he's no longer available on the sample sale, but I think he's just absolutely stunning. I love him. I love his ears. I love his tail. He's just, and this is faux fur, by the way. He's just so awesome. So he was released, as I mentioned, in August of 2013. So he was part of the Mansion of the Immortal series, which includes Dal-Lila, who is a ghost, and Pull-Up Wilhelmina, who is a witch, and Isul Vermelho, who is a vampire. And I don't have Isul Vermelho, but I will show you some footage of the other two that I have. It's Pull-Up Wilhelmina, who I have here, and there's a review of her on my channel as well. And Dal-Lila, who I have here. I have Wilhelmina is in full stock, wig and eye chips and clothing, and Dal-Lila here has been rewigged, and I've also made her some new eye chips as well. There's a full review of her on my channel as well, and also a video about the changes that I made to her, so you can check those out. And these dolls, as you can see, their skin tones match quite nicely, and their theming matches quite nicely. So I have been wanting this Taeyang for quite some time. I've actually wanted him ever since I got Bloody Red Hood, because I thought he would make a really nice companion for her, even though they're not designed to go together, they're not part of the same series. I just thought that because Bloody Red Hood has a Little Red Riding Hood theme, that it would be kind of nice to pair her up with a wolf-themed Taeyang. She does already have a soulmate in Jax, and so she doesn't really need a Taeyang partner anymore, but I still had originally really wanted him for that reason. So he was on my list. When I stopped acquiring pull-ups for a little while, I kind of go into these modes where I'm in kind of acquisition mode, where I'll buy lots of dolls, and then I do have a couple of other hobbies that keep me busy in addition to doll collecting, so I will often kind of do pull-ups in fits and spurts, and so in my last spurt, he was one of the ones that I wanted to get. I did get a couple of other ones from that series, and I just didn't get him. So when I kind of came back to the hobby recently, he was really the only one on my wish list at that point. That has changed, of course, because once I get looking around at all of the dolls that are out there, now I want all of the dolls. But anyhow, so I did snatch him up first in my kind of most recent spurt of doll collecting, because I wanted, I'd been wanting him for so long that it made sense for me to pick him up first. So I did get him at the sample sale at Groove, as I mentioned, and I really love one of the things that, in addition to his wolf theming, which was really the main reason that I wanted him, I also really love his wig. I love a fur wig, especially on a Taeyang, and I really love the quality of his stock. So here is his face. He is such a handsome boy. Look at him. Those dramatic eyebrows, they're so gorgeous. And so that's how they look I like that they are kind of pointy and they make him look very fierce, I think. So his eyes do turn from side to side, like all Taeyangs and pull-ups. And his eye chips are the kind where the pattern in his eye chip is actually drawn onto the surface of the eye chip, as opposed to the kind that are kind of like glass with the etchings in the other side of them. Or I guess they're plastic, they're not really glass, those ones, but the ones that are kind of clear and have some depth to them, these are not that kind of eye chips. These are the kind that are just painted right on the surface. And so there are two little dots, a white dot and a gold dot, and then the lines are drawn around, and he has these really vivid blue eyes that provide really nice contrast to all the rest of the doll. So when you look at him as a whole, his eyes really stand out. So I'll close his eyes for you so that you can see he has plain eyelids and a dark brownish black eyeliner. His entire eye, like the whole top part of his eyelid, actually his entire eye is lined in a dark brown, or really, really dark brown black, or a brown black. And he has these lines on his crease and these two little wings here and a lot of very fine eyelashes. I'll open his eye so that you can see the bottom part a little bit better. And he has a kind of points, I guess, drawn into the kind of the corner, the inner corner of his eye as well. He has these two scars on his nose, which give him really a lot of character. There are a few Taeyangs that have scars on their faces, and I'm going to be showing you another one soon. But this one, I think that this is the nicest scar that I've seen. It looks more realistic than Undertaker's. His lips are a nice neutral pinkish, and the corners of his mouth do go up a little bit. There's that dark paint in the corners that make him look like he's got a tiny bit of a smile. He does have some pink blushing on his cheeks and under his, quite a lot actually, under his, in this little groove under his lip, between his lip and his chin. And he does have the very pale skin, as you could see when I had him alongside the other pull-ups from the same collection, which is the Mansion of the Mortal. He has no earrings, and he has a regular Taeyang body. Mine has a little bit of staining from the cuffs of his jacket, just being down over his hand. So yeah, his hand right here has quite a lot of staining. It's one of those things when you get a sample doll, he's not going to be covered in plastic the same way that a doll in a box would be. And so when you buy the sample dolls, you don't get a box, you don't get a card, you don't get a stand, and there's no guarantee that you'll get all of his accessories. Now, this doll it did come with his accessory, which was only one. It's just these ears that look awesome in his hair like this. As I mentioned, I really love fur wigs, especially on Taeyangs, but what I love about them is that they have so much versatility and they can be styled so easily. I find that hair wigs, especially on Taeyangs with a short hairstyle, which I do prefer Taeyangs with short hair, in a short hairstyle of a more lifelike hair type of wig, it can only be styled in a certain number of ways, whereas with a fur wig you have a lot more flexibility and versatility. And so I like, being able to kind of mix it up and make it be really messy. You can make it look kind of like windswept, like you just got off a motorbike or something, or like really kind of messy. Or you can even, make it go down like this a little bit more to be a little bit more calm. So Love, love, love the wig. I really love the color of the wig. I like that it's not the same color as the fur on his outfit. So he is a werewolf, and so his outfit obviously has some theming of the wolf. And I really love the fur. It's a nice soft faux fur, so it's definitely not real. And but it looks very realistic. So I do very much like how realistic it looks. And this is his only accessory that he comes with. He comes with this headband that has wolf ears, and on one side they have the kind of like the inside of the ears is made out of this. It's a soft black fabric with shiny parts on it that make it look almost like with these like circular designs on them that look like alligator print. And then the headband itself has the same kind of faux alligator print look to it. It's nice, it's very soft and flexible, and it attaches with Velcro. And the backside of the ears are just plain fur, and I very much prefer the plain fur side of his ears. I just think that this side looks a little bit too flashy for him. I like just the rugged, plain fur ears. And he has some of the most beautiful stock clothing that I've ever seen on a Taeyang. I love, love, love his stock. His coat in particular is stunning. I love it. So this fur is detachable, and I will show you how the coat looks. I will take the fur off in a moment, but this is kind of the overall look, and this coat is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautifully fitted, and it has this faux distressed leather look, and the inside is gorgeous. It's like this paisley tone-on-tone red with a blackish red pattern on the inside of his coat. Really lovely, and I love the pointy corners of his coat. And he has double belt, and I'll show you that in a little bit more detail. And then up here on his lapel we have 4 of these little buttons or grommets or beads, and they're just sewn on with red thread, and they're really pretty. The sleeves of his coat are made out of that faux crocodile skin or whatever sleeves. And then he has these tufts at the cuffs, these tufts of fur at the cuffs of his jacket. And I will show you how this detaches. So there are buttons, like little snaps on the top of each of his shoulders that release the fur. And then there's another snap kind of midway down his back, releases. And then the fur is attached to both of his belts. And I was thinking about releasing one of the belts, just using a pair of scissors and cutting one of the belts off of the fur, so that I'd have the option to put a belt on his coat without necessarily adding the fur. So this is how the fur looks by itself. And then the belts one of the belts has these square studs all along it, and then the other one has alternating grommets and studs. So this is how he looks with his wolf-themed items removed, unless if the cuffs don't come off. So that is, if you're going to keep the jacket on, that is as unwolfed up as he can be. Let's remove his coat now that you see how it looks. So it's a little bit wrinkly in the back just from being packaged for so long, I'm guessing. But it's a lovely coat. Look at that. It's just so nice. So the coat comes off and on really, really easily, which is nice. I have another Natsumi's jacket, really doesn't come off very easily at all. So that's how the jacket looks by itself. It's very nice. I'm guessing it might stain I'm not sure. So here he is with his cute little red dress shirt and tie, and I have to say this is a great idea for a tie. In fact, I might make some ties like this. This is just a piece of ribbon. So this tie is different than the tie that I have that came with Taeyang Natsumi, which was a real tie. Like, it looked like it was sewn and made as an exact replica of a real human's tie, whereas this is a piece of ribbon that's just been cut at an angle and then tied into, is that called a Windsor knot? So that it looks like a tie, and it's a really nice black and white check, like the pattern. And his shirt is really beautiful. Firstly, it's nicely fitted, and I like the tall collar. And it's a little bit wrinkly there, but that's okay. And I also really like these long cuffs that his shirt has. It's very nice. It opens and closes with Velcro, and you can see his body beneath, and his pants from his waist down is wrapped in plastic, which I haven't taken off yet. I'll take it off at some point, but I'm not taking it off today. So it's a lovely stock outfit. That's how it looks in the back. And then his pants, I really love his pants actually. They have these darts in them right here to keep them nice and fitted. And they close with a Velcro fly, and they close in the front, which sometimes they close in the back, which is notable. And the fabric is a soft, it's almost like a brushed cotton, and then it has some flocking on top. I can't tell if this is flocking on top or if it's just been kind of distressed so that this is the underneath layer that is showing. It's like a soft, the black parts are softer than the green parts, and this is a very, very dark green. It's almost black. And I like how fitted the pants are, and I like how they kind of wrinkle up around his knees to allow him to bend his knees. And of course he won't bend or sit properly with all that plastic under his pants, so I will take that off after I'm finished the video. His tie also comes with these two little safety pins. I forgot to mention those, but they're just an added little bit of interest. I quite like them. And then his boots are really interesting as well. They are they're a molded plastic boot, and usually I don't like the plastic boots, but this one is quite nice because it's just a little bit more realistic looking than some of the other molded plastic boots that I've seen. I think the fact that it's so slouchy here, it's slouchy in a nice natural way, that makes it look real. Well done for plastic boots, I have to say. I much prefer the leather boots, but these are nice for plastic. It does have the slit to make it easier to put them on and off, especially with those fitted pants. That's pretty important. These pants will almost certainly stain his legs, so I will probably color fast them after I take the plastic off of him. So again, here you get to see the staining on his hands. His body doesn't look like the shirt has stained it though. It's just his hands that are stained. And Taeyang's all have the same body, so it's a nice articulating body, and I like the Taeyang bodies. I don't usually rebody them unless if I have rebodied one onto a male Obitsu body because he came broken. So you can see how easy he is to dress with this coat. It really goes on quite well. I'm really impressed with it. So he normally, if you buy him new, he comes in his box with a card and a stand, and then this is his only accessory, is his headband, and this comes on him when you get him. Because I bought him at the sample sale, I don't have his card or his stand or his box, but I did get him at a fairly significant discount, so I'm very pleased with my purchase. So I think that Taeyang Valko is an excellent doll for you to buy. I think he's great if you're looking for a more masculine Taeyang doll, or if you're looking for a otherworldly or monster themed Taeyang, because he has the pale skin. He coordinates really nicely with the other dolls in that same series, so if you're collecting the whole series, he's a great addition to add to it. So I think he's also a great doll if you're looking for monster themed, a wolf themed doll to either go with Bloody Red Hood like I was, or to coordinate with the other dolls in this series. He's a great addition. He has some interest because of his scar, and because his stock outfit is so versatile and so nice. I think he makes a great general doll. His fur wig is also going to be really easy to care for, and so he's great if you're looking for just a really great high quality doll. You get really great bang for your buck with this doll because he has such beautiful stock, and the doll himself is really nice. If you don't necessarily want to do any kind of customization to your doll, he's a great one because he looks so wonderful just straight out of the box. You can leave him in his own clothes or you can redress him and he looks really awesome. He's just a handsome, handsome boy. So you can still get him at Pull-Up Style or on the Groove website, which I'll leave the links to those places in the information section below. So I'm interested in hearing what you think about Taeyang Valko, so leave me a comment below telling me if you have him, how you like him, if he's on your wish list, or what you might plan to do with him. So take care and have a really great week.